Hey guys, it's Tarkan back with another video. So I want to talk about something today I get asked out about quite a bit, a lot. I thought I'd make a video about it finally, something specifically addressing that issue, that question. And of course the question is about signs. I might have done a video about this before. I can't quite remember, to be honest. I don't want to look back through all the hundreds of videos I've done, or over 130 videos I've done now. But suffice it to say, there's always something new to say about it, right? So what I want to say, though, right off the bat, is very important, okay? The thing about signs is that you don't want to get too hung up on them, all right? They do occur, okay? And really what they are is, it's not like some big flashy sign from the universe saying, hey, right on, although you get those, right? You get those internally. But more signs are just indications that you are moving in the direction of your desire, of what you desire the most, or what you're concentrating and focusing on the most, right? But the thing to do is not to go looking for them, all right? Now, a lot of people do this. They make this mistake because when you go looking for signs, A, you're setting yourself up for being disappointed about not finding signs that when you go looking for them. And B, it's a surefire indication that you're not lining up, that you're not detaching from the outcome, from your desire. Okay, and that's very important, maybe a very subtle kind of nuanced thing to try to understand, but it's very important to try to understand this, is that when you're looking for it, it's the same as saying, energetically speaking, I don't have this thing and I must have some kind of validation, some kind of peace of mind that it's happening, because I don't really trust the process, and I still want to push and manipulate and do and take uninspired action in the direction of what I want, because I feel incomplete without it. I feel unhappy without the thing that I desire the most. And of course, that's no way to manifest, okay? It's very important. I want to preempt this with that, because the signs I'm going to talk about are mostly pretty subtle, okay? But really what they're an indication of is you calming down, all right? You not pushing so hard, you having accepted your current situation while reaching for more, but being okay with where you are. And that's a very important thing to achieve with manifesting, all right? Because again, it's about energy, okay? It's not about action. It's not about things you say or do. It's about how you're feeling on the inside. And when you're calm about what it is that you want, when you say, yes, I want that thing, but I don't need it to be happy. I can find things right now in the moment to be happy about in my life. I can find things right now in the moment that are working in my life that I can focus on and get positive energy out of, okay? So I don't need that thing, that specific person, that money, that, constant validation from other people in order to feel happy and complete and whole and good about myself. Because again, remember, and I'm always going to stress this, guys, you don't want to rely on other people to make you happy or make you feel good about yourself. That's your job, not theirs. Okay, and if you expect it to be somebody else's job to do that, that's a great way to chase somebody out of your life, not to attract them into your life. People want to be around happy people. People want to be around centered people. People want to be around calm people, all right? You got to have a bit of a take it or leave it attitude, okay? Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't want what you want. You just shouldn't need it, all right? So when you're looking for signs out there and then you're disappointed because you don't get them, or you think that if there is no signs, that means what I want isn't coming, which is nothing is further from the truth, okay? That's another point I want to make before I get into this. When you do that, you're putting out the energy and the focus on, I don't have it. And I'm unhappy without it, and I'm incomplete without it. And guess what are you going to manifest then? More of I don't have it, and I'm incomplete, and I feel unhappy without it, okay? You want to be content. You want to be happy. You got to start feeling that way now. And then the things that will reinforce that are a match to that sense of being happy and being okay and being detached will come easily into your life, including that major desire of yours, the one that you really don't want to think about too much, okay? Because if you're thinking about it too much, that means you're getting yourself worked up in the direction of, where is it? I'm impatient. I want it now. And of course, that's not how you get things, how you manifest things, okay? So that's a very important thing that I want to get into before I start listing a couple of these signs. I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that, okay? Don't go looking for them. Let them occur to you naturally, all right? They'll occur to you most of the time when you're not really thinking about your desire. Boom, 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 suddenly there they'll be. And you'll go, oh, that's neat, cool, more of that, please, all right? That's more of the attitude. Then you just go back to your life and let the process unfold, all right? These signs are just indications that you're moving energetically in the direction, that you're focusing in a direction where your desire is coming together beautifully and perfectly because you've gotten out of the way of it. All right, so don't go looking for it. Don't go pushing for them. Don't try to turn every little thing into a sign and then think about it all day long. Like, is it a sign? Is it a sign? Is it a sign? Is it a sign? Okay. You'll notice them naturally as you're just going along and as you're detaching and as you're calming down and you're happy and content in the moment and as you are right now. These signs will occur to you naturally, and believe me, you won't miss them when they do. Okay, you'll know that it's a sign. You'll feel it immediately. Then just say thank you. Yes, please keep moving in that direction. Go back to what you're doing. All right. So that's what I wanted to say, and I'm going to get into the signs, the major signs. Right after this, guys. Okay, so let's get into really the number one sign. I'm not gonna save it for last and make you wait and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Really I touched on this in the intro, and really I'm making this number one because it is the number one thing to really achieve and get to. The number one sign that you are manifesting anything that you desire, especially those things like your specific person. Let's talk about that. Okay. But this is true for anything that you want to desire, is that you are feeling calm. You're feeling detached. You're feeling whole and complete already. Okay. You're feeling like, hey, I want that thing. I want to be with that person. And I know that I've put that out there now. That thing is already created. It's out there in the ether. The only thing I got to do is just line myself up with it. And the best way to do that is to calm down. Okay. So when you're busy focusing on yourself, making yourself happy, making your life complete and happy, getting involved in your projects, in your career, in things that you love, going out and having fun and not thinking all day long about that specific person. Are they thinking of me? What are they doing? I haven't heard from them. Yada, yada. Are they with somebody else? When you're doing that, again, you're pushing. You're not feeling complete. You're not feeling whole. That's a surefire sign that you're moving further away from your desire. Okay. When you feel content, when you feel like relief about the situation, when you feel like, hey, it's a done deal, then that's a surefire sign that you're moving in that direction. Because remember, your emotions are also a manifestation. Okay. When you've lined up with it and when your thoughts are lined up with it and you go, okay, listen, the thing is done. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to do so much. If any action needs to be taken on my part, they'll let me know. My inner being will let me know by indicating, by giving me that urge to do this thing, which may even seem completely unrelated to my manifestation. Like, I feel like walking down to the store and getting something to drink. Maybe you run into them. Maybe you run into someone that knows them. Maybe some information will be given to you to lead you on the next step in your path towards that thing. Okay. But again, don't go looking for these things. Don't try to make them happen. All right. They will occur naturally as you release your need for the thing to happen naturally. All right. So that's another thing that ties into this. The number one sign is that you're feeling calm, you're feeling content, you're feeling whole already, you're relaxed about it, you're detached from the outcome. But the other thing is that you start seeing the thing that you desire the most as just not a big deal. Okay. And again, that's not to say that you shouldn't want it or try to train yourself not to want the thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's not a big deal. Okay. It's not a big deal to say, I want a cup of coffee, so I'm just going to make a cup of coffee, or I'll go down to the coffee shop. It should be that matter of fact. All right. Of course you can get that thing. The coffee is not a difficult thing to get. Whatever sort of mundane thing that you can think of that you might desire throughout your day is not a difficult thing to get. I want a bologna sandwich. I want some pizza. I want this thing. It should be just along those lines, because oftentimes when we don't really believe we can have what we want, we make that thing so huge in our minds that it's unattainable to us, or it seems or feels unattainable to us. Why would they ever want to be with me? They're probably with somebody else. Oh my God, I've ruined it. Oh, I had a bad day. Now I got to start from scratch, and all that kind of jazz that we tell ourselves when we are so filled with doubt and dread that what we want isn't coming because we think that's the only way we're going to be happy. When you learn to be happy now, okay, that's your indication of that's definitely coming my direction. Okay, so when you feel like, hey, that's cool, I heard from them today, and you're excited, or you can be excited about it, but really you're kind of like, well, that's cool, awesome. It looks like it's going to happen, right? Looks like they're thinking of me. Looks like I'm moving in the direction of being with them again. So cool. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to get back to this thing. I'm going to hang out with some friends. I'm going to go jogging, whatever it is that I find pleasure in life, whatever I feel happy about in life. I'm going to do those things, right? Without needing them to constantly show up, without making it such a big deal in my mind. So that's really the number one sign, guys. When you finally calm down about it, when you're kind of like, okay, I can take it or leave it. I want it, but I can take it or leave it. I want it, but okay, let's see what happens. Then that attitude is exactly the attitude you want to achieve. That's going to get you there so much quicker and so much more efficiently than the pushing, the needing, the frustration, the when's it coming, where's the signs, yada, yada, yada. Because you're putting that desire on a kind of pedestal, like you're sort of worshiping it like it's some kind of weird idol, okay? And it should just be matter of fact. You need to see the button as being just as the same as the castle. As Abraham Hicks says, right? To the universe, manifesting a button is just like manifesting a castle. Just as easy, because it's all energy, you see. It's only in our ego mind that we make these things bigger or more important than they actually are. Right? So you got to start making that thing, shrink it down a little bit and go, it's not a big deal. And if it's an ex, hey, I've been with them before, so why couldn't I be with them again? And even if it's not an ex, it doesn't matter. They're just a person, you see. Don't turn them into something they're not. They're just a person, okay? A person you like, a person you really appreciate, a person you're really attracted to. Yes, of course, a person you want to be with, okay? But think about it this way. You want to match your thinking about the situation to the way that the universal mind thinks about it. And the way the universal mind thinks about it is it's no big deal. Oh, you want to be with that person? Sure. Boom. It's done. It's not a big deal, okay? You want a button? Here's a button. You want $1 million? Here's $1 million, okay? You need to start matching your thinking to the way that the universe perceives the thing, not the other way around. Don't try to bend the universe to how you want to think about it. Don't try to get the universe to feel the same urgency that you're feeling about it, because it's not going to feel any urgency about it. The universal mind cannot function on that frequency, you see. When you're on that frequency, that's a lower frequency. You need to bring your frequency up to how is God thinking about this? How is the universe thinking about this? Whatever you want to call it. How's my inner being thinking about this? All the same thing, okay? Just different words, different terms for it, all right? So you want to get to that point of being, I'm a powerful creator. This is a matter-of-fact thing that I'm going to have this. I already have it. I just need to line up with it, get out of the way, and that just means don't think about it all the time. Or when you're feeling happy and it makes you feel better to think about it, then think about it, then visualize, all right? But the number one sign, just to wrap that up, the number one sign is really you're feeling calm. It's just a matter-of-fact thing. It's not a big deal if they come or don't come, or if they come next week, or if they come today, or if they come in 3 months. You don't really care. You know they're coming. You know it's happening, okay? So that's the number one sign. And remember, that's a manifestation too, and these signs are manifestations as well. They're like little preemptive baby manifestations on the way to your sort of ultimate desire and manifestation goal, all right? So you know that, I'm sleeping better, okay? I'm just feeling happier and more content. I'm sort of like happy-go-lucky. Then you can tell yourself, ooh, there's a sign. That's a major sign that I'm lining up with it, because now I don't feel I need it so badly. I want it, but I don't need it, right? So that's one to really look out for, guys. And when you feel that way, and when you get that way consistently, you can be sure that what you want is on its way very quickly to you. So number 2, and so remember now, guys, the first thing that you're going to manifest in any situation is your thoughts and your feelings, okay? A feeling is a manifestation. A thought is a manifestation, all right? That's why, Abraham says this a lot. You have one positive thought or one empowering thought will attract another one like it to that thought, okay? And then those will attract more thoughts like it to them. And so before you know it, you have this snowball effect, and you're building momentum in that one direction of thinking very expectantly and excited and being positive and also being calm about that thing. All right. Like I mentioned in number 1. Okay. So the first sign, the first manifestation isn't going to necessarily be a physical manifestation out there in reality. So remember, reality, it catches up. That's the last thing to kind of catch up to your vision, to your where you're putting your focus and attention. That's the first thing to really look out for, to see as a manifestation, is how you're thinking and how you're feeling about things, and especially about your desire and about your specific person. Like I said already, when you're feeling calm, when you're feeling okay about it, but you're still expecting it, you're happy about it coming, but you don't need it right now, that's a manifestation. So then those manifestations will lead, as you follow that path and keep building momentum in that direction of being calm, being happy, feeling content, being detached about it, then you'll start to see the more of the physical manifestations. And those can come in the form of things like seeing their name everywhere, or very close variations on their name, hearing people talk about them, or hearing people mention those names, seeing people on the street or elsewhere that remind you of them or that look like them, right? Things like that will suddenly sort of pop up. Maybe you're cleaning up your hard drive or your phone, and suddenly there's a photo of the two of you from 2 years ago that you totally forgot about, or a thought will occur to you, okay? That's another. So even before those physical signs, you'll have other thoughts that occur to you. Well, you'll think of them, and suddenly it'll be some old memory, or if it's an ex we're talking about, some old memory, or you'll feel a sort of contentment about them. You'll feel kind of this warm, loving energy inside, all right? That's a manifestation too, and that's a sign as well that you're lining up with that thing, all right, with that person, okay? And you're lining up with the energy that is equivalent to the two of you being together eventually, all right? But really, the first thing, like I said, the first things that are going to manifest are going to be thoughts and feelings, all right? Memories will come into your mind. Maybe you'll dream about them. Now, here's one that's like very, people ask me a lot about. I dreamt about my specific person. I dreamt about my ex. What does it mean? And I always say this: how did the dream feel to you? Okay? Because the dream is a sign also, but it's showing you, it's an indication of where you're placing your attention. All right? So you could be going, it was a dream where I was embarrassed in front of them. My pants fell down or something like that. I felt vulnerable. I felt scared in the dream. Well, that's an indication to you that you're thinking in the opposite direction of what you want, that you have some fear going on, that you want to hammer out a little bit about that. You have some doubt going on that you want to hammer out about that. But if the dream makes you feel very positive, it's two of you having fun, being together, that's a surefire sign that, yes, you're putting your attention and placing your attention in the direction of what you want, okay? You're lining up with it, all right? So just like dreams and just like things like feeling good about them, and then also eventually leading to physical manifestations like, seeing hearing their name, seeing people that remind you of them, things like that, running into people that suddenly talk about them. Hey, whatever happened to, Sally? Whatever happened to Bob? Oh yeah, I heard they broke up with that person. I heard this, or I heard they're moving back to town, or things like that. You'll eventually get sort of confirmations like that. But remember that the first signs will come. There'll not be external signs. There'll be internal signs. There'll be thoughts and feelings, all right? And even the dreams are internal signs that are going to indicate you in the beginning stages of manifesting where you're placing your attention, all right? And then the signs come in saying, this dream felt good, or you're feeling calm about this, you're feeling happily expectant about this without needing it, you're feeling detached from it. That means whatever you're doing, keep doing that. Because if you keep doing that and keep following that road, eventually you'll see the physical signs like seeing their name everywhere, hearing people talk about them, seeing people that remind you of them, okay? So remember that that's kind of the order that these things go in. Another thing I want to talk about is numbers. That's a big one. People see number 888, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I saw 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I saw 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. What does it mean? What does it mean? Well, it's the same as things, it's an indication that you're lining up. It's an indication that you're lining up energetically with what you want, okay? The signs in and of themselves, now you can take these signs like 888, quadruple 8, you know, 555 and whatever it is, 1111, you can go look these numbers up and read about them. And oftentimes though, that might confuse you even more because there are so many different opinions out there about what these numbers mean, if they mean anything, and then specifically what they mean. You know, that source says 1111 means this, but then that one says it means this. Now I'm even more confused. Just understand that you don't need to really interpret the numbers specifically for some kind of specific message, okay? It's not like they're going, here's your angel saying, you know, eat the banana bread instead of that this morning, or whatever it is, okay? Here's your angel saying, you know, go over there instead of over here. That's not really what those numbers are, but they're the same kind of concept as hearing their name, hearing the person's name, seeing people that remind you about them, having dreams about them that make you feel positive, and also the feelings of detachment and things like that. The numbers, seeing them in this sort of synchronistic way, all right, are an indication that you're lining up energetically with what it is you want. You're going with the flow and you're in the flow, okay? So that's kind of an indication of that, all right? So, I mean, you can, if you want, go and interpret those numbers specifically and look for interpretations for those specific numbers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want you to understand, though, when you find certain interpretations, it's about which ones you accept. Okay, and you can practice yourself into saying or believing that 888 means a specific something or 1111 means a specific something. That's really up to you, okay? So then that becomes a sign and symbol for you specifically. You can assign the numbers to certain meanings, and then so for you, whenever you see the number, they will carry those meanings, right? If you make yourself believe that 1111 means soulmate, and your soulmate is coming, that means that your specific person or ex is coming back into the picture, then you can you can assign that meaning to that number so that then when you see that number, that's what it will mean for you, okay? But overall, you don't really need to do that, okay? What you really need to understand about the numbers lining up and the synchronicities is that you're in alignment. You're in the flow. You're lining up with what it is you want. And you're opening yourself up to the universe, letting you know that in its own kind of mathematical way, its own kind of strange way that seems to be designed to confuse us more, but really it's not. Really, it's just showing you synchronicities are a sign of you lining up with what you want, and are a surefire sign of you moving in the direction of your desire, of being with your specific person in this case. Last thing I want to talk about in terms of signs is synchronicity. We talked about this. So synchronicity, you know, it's things like, it even ties into the number 2 point that I made, which is like suddenly hearing their name everywhere, seeing their name everywhere, suddenly seeing things that you kind of had in common, like little inside jokes you guys might have had if this is an ex, you know, running into people you guys knew, used to hang out with together, that, you know, you haven't seen in a long time. These are kind of synchronicities, like the numbers are also synchronicities. That is another indication of you lining up with that thing, okay? So it's not necessarily that the universe is creating these things for you. It's that you are actually creating them. You're creating the numbers and the synchronicities and these other signs, and the way that you feel about those things is your indication of what does that really mean for me personally, and what does that really mean for my manifestation, okay? How does it feel to me? Does that make me feel excited? Does that make me feel even, ooh, that makes sense? Right? That makes sense. Because really in manifesting, when you're truly lining up with something, the sense you're going to have about all these synchronicities and signs and even your manifestation coming together is going to be very matter of fact. It's going to be like, oh, that's the next logical step. Of course, that makes sense. Perfect. And you feel a kind of contentment and calm about that thing. You don't need to jump off the walls and do cartwheels in the park and shoot rainbows out of your ears and whatever it is. You can do that if that's really your personality. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying it could be as simple as, oh, cool, look at that. All right. Right on. I'm on the path. I'm lining up. Awesome. So what's next? Where am I going today? What am I doing today? Let's hang out with so-and-so. All right. You know, that's kind of the way you want to really treat these things. You want to look at them as just indications and affirmations that, hey, you're lining up today. You're doing good. You're content. You're calm. You're detached. You're happy. You're making it about yourself and not so much about them. And suddenly you see all these synchronicities and these numbers and their name popping up, and you're feeling good when you think about them, and you're feeling calm and content, and you go to sleep at night. And you're not so worried about things, and then you have a nice dream with them involved. resolved. You wake up feeling good about that and hopeful and expectant about that. But then you just go back to what you're doing, what your plans for the day were, and you're enjoying your life and you're engaging in what you're passionate about and you're following your path, you see. That's the number, that's really a surefire indication of when you have that attitude and when these things just seem logical to you and not such a big deal, then that's a real strong indication that you're lining up. And then, you know, the next thing that could happen is you run into them. They text you, right? But don't worry about when that's going to happen. And if it hasn't happened yet, you know, that's not something that you need to concern yourself with. Likewise, and I really want to wrap it up with this because it's a very important point, guys, is that just because you're not seeing these kinds of signs and synchronicities or feeling these kinds of things is also not an indication that it's not happening, okay? Because so many times I hear people say that and they really shoot themselves in the foot with their manifestations and with their desires and their end goals, is that they tend to think if nothing is happening, if there's no synchronicities, no signs, you haven't heard from them or about them, and there's no one showing up with their name in your life, that kind of thing, that must mean they're not coming back and I failed at this. There is no way to fail at this, okay? You haven't, just because you have a bad day and then there's nothing that seems to indicate their presence in your life or them coming into your life, does not mean that you've screwed it all up. The universe decided that you're an asshole and they don't want to give you anything, you know, or you made that one mistake and that means it's all over. Nothing could be further from the truth, and you need to divorce yourself from that thinking right now, okay? Signs are an indication of you lining up and moving in the direction of what you want. No signs is an indication of absolutely nothing, okay? So that's very important to understand. Not seeing these signs doesn't mean you're not going to get what you want, okay? So again, that goes back to me saying and stressing again, don't go looking for the signs. Don't try to create signs, and don't try to turn every little thing into a sign in your mind. In other words, you're going to talk yourself into that thing must be a sign. That's a sign. That's a sign, right? That's a sign. Where's the next sign? I got to see all these signs to feel sure and okay about, you know, that what I want is coming. Because again, what's that the energy of? I'll give you a second, okay? That's the energy and the focus of I don't have it. It's not here. I need it to be happy. Not a way to be a deliberate creator and manifester, guys, okay? The way to do that is to calm down, learn to be attached, learn to love yourself, learn to be okay with your life, find the things that you're passionate about, find the things that you want to do those things, follow your path, and you know, you can focus on them in moments when you're feeling content, when it's like a peaceful moment, when it's fun to do, you can visualize and do the affirmations and all that stuff, but don't try to push for any of it, all right? Don't try to push for signs, and don't think for a minute, I'll say it again, that no sign means no manifestation. It just doesn't, all right? So I hope that's helped you guys. I hope that's cleared that up for you as far as signs and synchronicities and all that jazz is concerned. Maybe I'll do another video as I think of more things to say about this subject down the road. But suffice it to say, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this one. So thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your tips out there. Wonderful, 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 okay? I'm so appreciative of it. And if you want to do that, you can do so below. I'll leave a comment that I'll pin as well, but also in the description box, you'll see links for if you want to leave me a tip. If you want some coaching, there's links for that down below as well. And, you know, please, as always, hit subscribe, like this video, share it with people, comment. That will help my channel be visible. Okay, guys? So thanks again for tuning in and for watching. I am 𝗏𝗏, and until next time, happy manifesting, and bye-bye.